Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Richmond Raceway. Welcome to the ABN AdminBoxx series for the regular season finale. Richmond Raceway, the site of several memorable moments throughout the years. Difficult racing, but short track racing nonetheless. Kevin Young alongside me and Carmen Sienna as we get ready to figure out who makes the chase for the cup. Kevin, it's a difficult racetrack as qualifying begins here. What are the drivers looking forward to tonight?
Well, through the chatter, it's going to be a bit of a tall task for this setup here. Feels like it's going to be a situation where these drivers are going to have to really wrangle this car, try to get it to plant through the corners, and try to get the throttle off the best they can. So it's going to be for the driver that wants to win tonight, or a driver that may be on the bubble, needing to get into the chase here tonight. You're going to have to be the best kind of car wrangler here to try to get the best speed out of these Gen 4 cars. Even on the best of their times, they're hard to wrangle. And now, you had a little bit of a challenge with the old short track.
Qualifying just beginning here at Richmond Raceway. Looking at the 2022 ABN Open Wheel World Champion, who's got her hands full with this setup early on. She'll have to do a reset there. Emily Howe, winningest driver so far on the season.
As qualifying actually is only one lap here, so maybe a bit of a just worth noting here is looking through the qualifying rules here. So they're only going to get one lap, not two. So first lap's going to be the only lap. Yep. So first lap is going to be the only lap for any driver. So Philip Snipes right now is going to be the P number 1 at the moment. So Christina Ryan obviously spinning on her first lap. She's not going to be able to put down a time. So laps are going to go quickly here. Ruby Acosta was not able to put down a time.
You see the damage on that car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting more and more cars jumping in here later on in the session.
Mm-hmm. They got time to do it. They got to get in for qualifying ends, and right now that's about 8 minutes and some change. Tommy Withers just joined the session. Christina Ryan obviously came in late. She's going to use the remaining session of qualifying here just to practice, try to get in tune with this car because, again, at the best time is a handful. Add in little to no practice on a short track like this. Yeah, you're going to need as many laps as you can to buck that, get in front of that Bronco and make sure it doesn't buck you off. Nicholas Presley about to finish his first lap in the books for him, or his only lap, I should say. See if he can put this car on pole position. Looks like it was good enough for P3 in that number 94. Only cars yet to set times are Zach McBride, the 89 of Leleg Zaire, Blake Henderson, and Tommy Withers.
I was looking at Christina Ryan getting her first laps really a practice in.
Mm-hmm.
Sear, Henderson, Withers.
Zaire heading out on the track as we speak. She'll be the next driver who would like to put down a time here. Driver needing some good fortune here in that 89.
Definitely does well here.
Mm-hmm. See what they can do.
Hands full there. Do turn 2.
You can see her wrangling that thing across the line. Good enough for P5. Blake Henderson about to start his one and only run in that number 25. Tombstone Motorsports. Right there, you can just see him struggling. He's going to lock it down here. If he can keep it, well, if he loops it, that's going to invalidate the lap. So that is going to be not much of a good lap there for the 25. Just trying to spin around, maybe use time for some extra practice, keeping it off the wall. Yeah, now he's just doing some donuts here. We'll cut back to Christina Ryan here. Just doing warm-up laps. So yeah, it's going to be kind of a quick, short qualifying here just because everyone got done in one lap. So
these are short laps here.
Yeah, short laps and 1 lap makes this go by quick. Only drivers not yet set times are Zach McBride and Tommy Withers. Everyone else has retired from the qualifying session, excluding Christina Ryan and Zaire in number 89, both doing practice laps right now as we speak. You can see how close she's getting to that wall down that straight. She is trying to get that thing as straight as she can, and then try to arc into the corner. She comes off here, tries to get as straight as she dares, and just try to get as close as she gives her the best arc going into the corner there. Just run it close to the wall, then pinch it down, see what she can do.
It'll be Philip Snipes, however, as it currently sits on pole position for this race. Made his debut a few weeks ago. Looking to grab pole for the first time. And Emily Howe. Not a bad run.
Yeah. Past couple weeks have been showing steady improvement for that 98. And we'll use his pole position to try to, because is not going to be able to make to the chase with the limited schedule he has ran so far this season. So just trying to get some good laps. It looks like Christina's qualifying practice runs are going to come to an end, as that's going to junk the car. So she will be electing to finish it, leaving only 1 car taking laps. And there's number 89.
Yeah, Lilac Zier running some extra practice laps. One of those that joined in a little bit later. It's the decent chunk of practice time. This is a track that suits Zier well in the HDL Cup Series. She finished 2nd last season. We've seen her do well in the ARC's Saturday Night Showdown Series as well. So we're used to seeing the success of that number 89 machine.
Yes. I mean, we saw it last week at Watkins Glen. She was able to get a good run here. Right now, she is inside the top 12. If she can keep that lock in tonight and get a good result here, she should be able to lock herself into a chase spot and fight for a championship over the next few weeks. See who will be the champion of the AdminBoxx Cup Series. But still got 1 round to go here. Has to make sure she finishes well in order to make that happen.
Again, qualifying time continues to tick down here. There will be, it looks like, 12 cars tonight. Philip Snipes, Emily Howe, currently front of the field. Then Nick Pressey and Callie Height in row 2 is how things currently stack up. Lilac Zier and Lily Peltier Sharp in row 3. John Hagan and Ruby Acosta would be in row 4, theoretically. Then Zach McBride, Christina Ryan, Blake Henderson, and Tommy Withers rounding out the field tonight. Doing some practice laps here.
And at 14 to go.
Right on board, kind of get an idea of what the laps like in this Gen 4 machine.
Obviously, so many laps they've ran so far. Even though obviously SDK does not keep track of it, it's just worth noting that it's ticked over from 2 to 3 to 2 to 3 multiple times. So those tires are feeling the wear, and at the very least, it's good practice for when the wear starts to hit with these tires. Long runs practice here for that number 89. Looks like they will get at least one more. Actually, no, it's 21-second lap. So this is going to be the last full lap that the 89 will complete, and basically like a half a change before warm-up will begin.
That'll do it for qualifying. So Philip Snipes confirmed for his first career pole position at ABN.
Mm-hmm.
A very peculiar.
A peculiar session, but probably one of the fastest in ABN history.
So warm-up begins here. Drivers will go through driver's meeting. Obviously, seeing how much of a handful this car has been. So drivers will be trying to get as much time as possible in this 10-lap final session before the race begins. The race itself, 200 laps, 150 miles. It'll transition into nighttime from the sunset conditions we see right now.
Cooler track, hopefully should at least a bit more of grip. But without the sun, it could also have that effect too. Zach Bride just had a disconnect. Hopefully he can get back in here before session starts. As one of those drivers also on the bubble. Needs someone of decent finish to ensure he stays in the top 12. So yeah, as warm-ups are going on right now, some drivers are electing to take it, and also probably a good chance to practice pit road entry and exit, as it can be a bit of a tricky beast in most cars around here. Some drivers may elect to take advantage of that. This is a good opportunity if you need to. Take a break, get a drink, use the bathroom, whatever you need to do. Come back in about 7 minutes, and you'll see 200 laps here at Richmond. The final race for the chase is on.
While warm-up's underway, we're going to step aside for a quick second. So don't go anywhere. All right, we are back. You've seen warm-up ongoing the entire time on your screen. Now it's almost time for the race to begin. And we have fastest right now in the race session. So we'll see how quickly she can get to the front of the field here. She'll start in the outside front row for the race.
Gonna be it for warm-up. 2.5 laps await us here, Richmond.
Absolutely. So here's what we're looking at for the ABN Rock and Roll 200 at Richmond Raceway. 76 degrees the air temp, 102 degrees the track temp. But both those temperatures will go down as this race goes on. 7-mile-an-hour winds could play a little bit of a factor here. We'll see as the race goes on how much of a factor that is and from where. Looking at the starting grid for tonight's event, it's Philip Snipes on pole, his first career pole, and that number 98, that Tennessee Volunteers machine. Emily Howell alongside, making that all Toyota front row. Then it's Nick Pressey and Kelly Height in row 2. Lilac Zier and Lily Pelletier Sharp make up row 3 ahead of John Hagan and Christina Ryan. Zach McBride and Ruby Acosta make up row number 5. Then the last row of the field, an abbreviated field tonight, as some drivers took a drop round. Tommy Withers and Blake Henderson. Some drivers not present for tonight's event include Josh Gaiman, Cade McKee, Rudy Valentine, among a bunch of others. So we'll figure out where everyone sits at the end of this.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of math, a little bit too hard to calculate on the fly. So if drop rounds and everything else, things can still be up to play here.
It's going to be an action-packed week for us. Obviously, tonight we're in Richmond. Tomorrow we're in Iowa for the ABN Champ Car World Series. And Saturday and Sunday, we're racing for ARC. Saturday night at Darlington is the A-Square Cup Series, with the Saturday Night Showdown taking place on Sunday at Milwaukee. So a little bit of an inversion there.
All right, so it's the last lap of warm-up, so we are going to get ready for the race.
Absolutely. 200 laps, 150 miles. No stages. No green white checkers. We're going to get the full race tonight. Pace car pulls into pit lane. Through the restart zone. Green flag is in the air, and away we go. Cars obviously tiptoeing a little bit here.
Yeah, I was going to say turn 1 can be a bit greasy. Looks like everyone gets through it okay for the most part. No cars ended up wrong way around.
Yeah, obviously everyone kind of made note of how loose this car can be, especially early on in the run. Zier showing a little bit of that now as Zier drops from 5th to 6th on that inside lane. But everyone taking it nice and tight. That's Henderson around.
Just spun, and that will be the first caution.
And he's just immediately towing to pit lane. And he's already out of this race.
Yeah, does not feel comfortable with the car. Don't know if he actually hit the wall or not.
Take a look at it and see. Blake Henderson, this is ahead of Tommy Withers. Does he grab it sideways? Does not hit the wall, but just does not stick around.
Yeah, must not feel confident in this car. Feels like maybe doesn't want to be in a situation where he takes 3 or 4 more cautions because he just can't get a grip of it, which is respectable in that sense, because not every dog has its day, and if you don't feel comfortable at the track, there's no point in causing more cautions that may be necessary, or maybe even take someone else out of his race, because in the series points you can get penalties if you end up getting X's or other things, so it's not worth invading the rules of the stewards if you do not feel comfortable in the car. Looks like one car pitted, the 89 machine. They have come down pit lane. Only car to do so under this caution. Everyone else staying out. Obviously with 3 laps, not really feeling like they need to get fresh tires or fuel yet. But that 89 is going to try to go off sequence.
I think it's interesting as well. Just by starting this race, he locked himself into the playoffs. So that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. And like I was saying, like if he ends up getting in an accident, ends up spinning it, maybe gets a penalty for some reason, takes someone out accidentally, it's not worth it. Especially if you don't feel confident that you can be safe and respectful of the other drivers. So probably not fun as a competitor, but it's just sometimes you gotta know when your goose is cooked. It's like me on a road course. Gotta know what battles to fight.
So caution up for the first time for a spin involving Blake Henderson. But it will be a short caution with all the cars remaining still on the lead lap. Short laps in general just around this track. Even under caution, these laps are less than a minute.
Yeah. Looks like lights are out on the pace car here. We are going to be going green this time by. Anyway, Howe will now be on the inside. Much has not changed in that front row other than the positioning, the starting positions of the two on the front row. Now Emily Howe's on the inside and Snipes is on the outside. Car is off. Flag is in the air, and away we go for restart number 2. John Hagen going for a big move there into 1, but he won't be able to gain anything. Car's still 2 abreast for the most part back. Emily Howe looking clear at the moment. We'll try to get some separation.
Hagen alongside Pelletier Sharp. He tags the wall just a little bit there. We'll also give a spot to Ruby Acosta.
Yep, Hagen opened the door just slightly. Allowed Ruby Acosta to tiptoe in. Emily Sharp, I mean, not Emily Sharp, Alyssa Pelletier Sharp is going to try to get back on the rebound here.
Hagen attacking Nick Pressey now. This is for the top 5. Pressey currently in 5th. Hagen would like to get into 5th. Hagen's had a really phenomenal week so far.
Yeah, very strong this past week. Wants to keep that ball rolling. Also, you can see just up the shot, too. You can see that battle for 3rd with Christina Ryan and Wesley Snipes in that situation as they are fighting hard for 3rd position.
Philip Snipes.
Philip Snipes, yep. I knew it. I blanked there for a second. Philip Snipes. Wesley Snipes is an actor. But anyway, Christina Ryan will get the spot, and Philip Snipes will fall down the 4th. Now going to fall into the clutches of John Hagen.
Hagen making the inside lane work pretty well. Making some inroads here, up 2 spots already from where he started this race.
Oh, Ruby, I just saw in the back there. Sorry, I just kind of saw it. Ruby Costa went for a big move there on Nicholas Presley. Almost had that thing low down. You know, it's
Hagen
still not.
And
yeah, Hagen
Snipes going at
Snipes.
it still as Callie Height let Christina Ryan go through.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional or not, as they're still side by side, but Height went really wide in 1 and 2. And
Yeah, I don't think that was.
Keeping it
I
planted.
don't think that was. Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. I think it was just a situation where she went just a bit too deep in the corner and just tried to get it back with the run, but just couldn't gain the position. Still side by side for 4th, John Hagen and Philip Snipes still battling it out quite hard. Hagan just looking to try to diamond it off the corner and try to slide up, but now with Kelly Height right there, it could be a bit of a pick that John needs to try to make a move around. Now, bit of a train for him behind Callie Height. It's Height, Hagan, Snipes, Acosta, Pressy, all just trying to kind of, they're running single file, but right now, you know, John Hagan's got that speed, and Callie Height has it too, but it's in that regard that Hagan just trying to find a way around clear so he can try to keep up with the top two here.
Hagan for Jacob Shango Racing won on Monday, the first duel for the HCL Daytona duels. We'll start third next Monday in their Daytona 300.
Looks
Had a
Hagan
chance to
finally
do a little bit better than he did in our Daytona 300 here on ABN.
He ran okay, but yeah, had some
Whoa,
trouble later. Oh,
car
on the wall.
behind.
And
that's here.
Yep, correct. The 89 machine. Maybe I know Sharp queued up her radio for a second. I don't think she had a piece in that incident. We'll have to take a look at the replay and see.
Looks like Sears the only major one that had an accident out of that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Zier.
Ooh.
Oh, Peltier Sharp just kind of clobbered Zier there and sent her towards the wall. See if we can get a better angle of it.
Yeah, it looks like the 89 didn't hit the wall too hard, though, so that could buff out. Will probably affect the performance too much. But with the series having no fast repairs, they're praying that it can at least buff out and do not hurt the performance too much.
And most of the field will come down pit lane here.
Tires are a hot commodity around here. You don't want to be caught on the back foot and not have the tires ready to go.
Cars in pit lane here. Getting the service done.
Gonna be a race off. Who will get out first? It looks like it's still gonna be Emily Howe, then Christina Ryan, and then John Hagan. So 1, 2, 3. Hagan tried to beat Christina Ryan, couldn't get the job done. And it's Callie Height, Ruby Acosta, Nicholas Presley. Slow stop for the 98. Philip Snipes, 21 seconds in his box. Looks like he may have had some optional damage he elected to fix. Then Withers and Pressy. And Zach Bride, Lipsy Sharp, and Lilick all staying in the pit lane. Actually, Lilick out now, so Zach McBride coming out, and Sharp still. And actually, I say that, they'll all leave the pit lane right now, but long stops.
Peltier Sharp, I think, may have left a closed pit lane.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Peltier Sharp will go a lap down.
Should not beat the pace car. And the pit lane closed because of that. So, yep, she'll have to let everyone go. So a bit of a bad to worse for the Peltier Sharp. Had that caution, tried to fix up the damage. Was such a short track and such a short lap. Didn't keep a good enough eye on the cars coming around. By the time she thought she successfully made it out, she missed the bar by a hair, and now she's one down. Luckily, only car one down. So if we do get a caution, as long as she's not the caution, she'll get her lap back. Car off, green flag is out, and away we go. You're going to try to put the fight to Emily Howe. Emily Howe did not get as going there on that launch. He's going to have at least the inside line here.
On the early run, that outside lane's going to be where to be.
Yep.
It's a matter of how quickly those tires warm up and get back to the inside lane. Still side by side for the first 4 cars. As Height drifts up side by side with Hagen. Looks like Howe's going to get clear of Christina Ryan. And Hagen's going to make a move for second.
Yep, Hagen saw an opportunity to strike there, but just not going to really get...
3 wide.
Yep. Almost indeed. Ruby Acosta a little loose. She'll save it, though. Keeps that car planted. Yeah, John Hagen saw an opportunity to strike, and it looks like he'll take advantage of it.
Whoa, trouble!
As he will,
McBride around, and it's off of the nose of Pelletier Sharp.
Oh. Sharp not going to be happy with that, because that is her chance of getting the lucky dog gone, as she was involved in the caution. So she will stay 1 down. Zach McBride's front end looks pretty damaged. So
we'll see what happens here. He gets loose out of turn 2. Played in slow motion here. It's the 47 of Zach McBride, center of your screen almost. Just up in the back. Pelletier Sharp in that pink number 18 machine. He gets a little tail happy.
Oh.
And Pelletier Sharp just runs right into him there.
And yeah, Sharp really had nowhere to go there with speeds. Maybe thought McBride was going to straighten out, but just not enough. And it's going to make a bad day worse for the 18, like I was saying, or alluding to, is now she's going to stay 1 down because of being involved in this incident and have some damage to boot. Still a long race to go here. Could easily rebound. 3 cars electing to come in the pit lane here. Lilac, Zach McBride, and Tommy Withers all pitting. All 3 cautions so far, that number 89 machine has elected to come in. So trying a very off-sequence strategy.
Well,
looks like they're also trying to fix
some
extra. Yeah, trying to also fix some damage from that second caution of the night.
They will stay on lead lap.
Yep, they'll both beat the pace car successfully. Stay on the lead lap. 27 laps in the books right now. 11 cars still running. Well, 12 cars started the race. 11 cars still running at the moment. So one advantage is short pace laps here, being such a short track. Go by quick. So luckily, if caution does come out, not gonna be here for too long. So you should be getting the 1 to go this time by, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, I was wrong. We still got 2 to go. We'll have 1 to go next time by.
We have 2 to go because there's a lap car here.
Yeah.
Pelletier Sharp down 1 lap. The only car off a lap. Blake Henderson out of this race after his lap 2 spin.
Mm-hmm. Got the 1 to go here. They're going to group up here. John Hagen, first time he will be on the front row tonight. You can say one of the few drivers that has been able to bring it to Emily Howe at a lot of different tracks this season.
Still hasn't won.
Nope. He's brought it. Hasn't finished the deal, though, but this could be the night he could try. On that row 2, not Ruby Costa, Christina Ryan and Callie Height. Row 3, Philip Snipes, and well, Chris looks like we had a lag out there.
It may have been for both of our leaders.
Yeah, Emily Howe just had a connection drop.
As did Christina Ryan.
So
Green
we are
flag
going
in the air. Hagen controls the restart.
Very odd indeed. Yep, Emily Howe and Christina just confirmed on the pylon below when I'm looking. Yep, Emily Howe and Christina both had a connection drop.
Wow. Both of them living in the same area.
So whatever caused one may have caused the other one. Storms or whatever the reason. Or just local outages.
So Hagen now in the race lead. This is a prime opportunity for him.
Yeah. Because this is the thing that stinks about short laps is every lap that ticks by, well, they can't get back here. That's putting another one, and another one down. So right now, what Emily Howe and Christina Ryan need is a quick caution to try to salvage something, but
I think with both of them already being locked into the chase, I think that might be night over for them.
maybe.
Side by side, pole sitter Philip Snipes trying to go back for second place on Cali Height.
It's also a good opportunity. Christina Ryan has just reconnected, so she is coming back. Again, this is a good chance for someone like Cali Height here, who's currently 7th in the standings. Good chance. Try to get some good points here, get some momentum for the chase coming up. A win would definitely help get some extra points too for that haul. Emily Howe is also reconnected as well. So both drivers not calling it a day yet. They'll at least try to get back out here. Now, whether they like to continue on after seeing how many laps they may be down, we'll have to see. But they're at least going to attempt to get back in those cars. Battle for 4th raging on. Nicholas Pressey and Ruby Acosta fighting over the scaps. Pressey gives a little bump to Cali to try to get a runoff. So try to get through the corner a little quicker. But one Queensland design car is helping another in their own battle.
Hagen, Snipes, Cali Height, top 3. Pressey and Ruby Acosta battling for 4th. TA Sharp in the wall.
Oh, yep. Little scrape there.
To the outside lane goes Snipes. 98 getting tired of sitting behind the 52. Trying to find a way around to get back to the race lead. Oh, Hagen got a little contact from Snipes, who is insistent on making it go through, and he does.
Yep, Hagen, I'd be too thrilled about that right now. They are going to catch Emily Howe here.
Briefly, I think Howe's going to have the pace to get back away.
I was going to say it. I was going to say correction to that. Howe, caution!
Wow.
Hagen and the 66 and Ruby Acosta.
Yeah, I say both the Queen's Design cars are in it. Same with John Hagen. 38 laps in, 4th caution of the night, and you see the damage on Hagen's machine.
Yeah, that may be terminal at the very least. I think it may have been a send. I'll take a look at the replay, but I feel like it was a send.
We'll see what happens here. The 66 of height, I believe, is going to be center focus on this incident here. We'll see if we can get it from high above, entering turn 1. Go to our ABN slow-mo cam. Yeah, Hagen was getting ready to go for the apex of the corner. Just really unsighted there. And Height into the air and into the catch fencing.
Yeah. She was on top of John Hagen there, and then Ruby Acosta just piles on in. I think Ruby got away with the least amount of damage there. But you can see the hood flaps. The hood is off on that 52 machine, so... Yeah, John Hagen wondering what he has to do to get a good finish. Like, it seemed like the stars were aligning at the very least for a chance at a win, and now that may just went up in smoke.
This is what it looks like from his onboard. Looking back at him. And there's nothing he can do there.
Yeah, he was just a passenger. at that point.
On board with Ruby Acosta. Just gonna watch your teammate destroy the back end of the 52 before sending your teammate airborne. Ruby Acosta is the one that sort of accordioned Callie into the fence.
Mm-hmm. Bit like a ramp. Too bad the stunt night is next week, not this week.
So a lot of cars in pit lane here. Lilac Zero will inherit the race lead, with Withers, Pressey, Snipes, and McBride now top 5. Ruby Acosta in 6. Valtier, Sharp, Height, and Hagen still on pit lane.
Yeah, Hagen, that's going to be a lot of fixing. Same thing with Height.
Valtier, Sharp gets back on the lead lap with that caution.
Yep.
Getting the free pass.
One saving grace, at least in her eyes, for that caution. For those keeping up at score at home, as you can see on the scoring pylon, Christina Ryan now currently 5 down, Emily House 6. So the one disadvantage is, considering Christina Ryan joined earlier, if we do get another caution, that lap is going to go back to Ryan before it will go to Emily Howe at least 5 times over. John Hagen has pulled behind the wall. It is terminal for that 52 machine.
It looked terminal when you see how much damage was on that car.
Yeah, I was going to say it was most likely terminal, but that just gives it the confirm. Callie Height has the ability to soldier on and elect to do so.
Callie Height 1 lap down. As we look to see that's what the 66 car looks like. Looks pretty decent from the front end.
Yeah.
Still a decent amount of side damage and some right rear quarter panel. Oh, there's a lot of side damage on both sides.
Yeah, they look caved in a ton.
It shouldn't be the end of the world, especially here, because it's mostly to the sides and not to the front or the rear. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to feel great.
Oh no, it's gonna. These cars are already a handful, and do that. Yeah, it's it's going to be a bit of a handful. It's going to be Lilac. Going to lead the control here. Start is in. Green is out. And the way we go, Withers does not get going on that outside line and stacks up the outside a bit. As the A9 will have a clear shot in the 1.
Snipes going to try to use that advantage to get back to second place. Snipes has one of the faster cars here on the lead lap.
Mm-hmm.
But takes him a second.
Big deep McBride. He's going to be ping-ponging, and Callie's going to pile in, and that will be a caution.
And because Callie was involved in that, Christina Ryan's going to get the free pass.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say, a caution's precautions, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens here. This is honestly Christina Ryan got away from it all. Zach McBride is the one that got spun. And it looks like he just kind of sends it in a little too hard there. And that number 47 machine.
Yeah. Bit aggressive and getting nowhere for Callie to go. Just kind of had to pile on in.
Yeah, and McBride bounces off the 94 Pressey. And obviously you see there's where the caution comes out. Christina Ryan gets free pass, number 1. 5th caution of the night. Philip Snipes to the race lead with Zier, McBride, and Withers coming down pit lane.
And this is a thing worth noting, is that with a lot of top cars, a lot of top contenders having problems so far tonight, whether connection issues or cautions or what have you, this is a good chance for some drivers that have had snake-bitten seasons or newcomers or what have you to have a chance to maybe bring home this checkered flag or get a good finish to kind of give them some momentum going into the playoffs. This is going to be quite fun to watch here for this next 150 laps to see who can be the one that gets it done.
Philip Snipes, Nick Pressey, Ruby Acosta, Lily Pelletier Sharp, top 4. See the damage still on Ruby Acosta's number 40 machine. That car wearing an extensive amount of wear compared to what we saw physically from the 66 machine.
Yeah, that front end is caved in. And Pelletier Sharp was just one down, is now going to line up P4. Survive the chaos a bit. So you're going to have 2 orange cars in the first row, and then you're going to have the white car Ruby Acosta and the light blue and pink car, the Tina Pelletier Sharp. And then the Mountain Dew 89 of Lilac Zier and the 23 of Tommy Withers going to be your first 3 rows here. And Zach probably going to line up at 7th with Kelly Height in tow. Around the 1 to go here. Pace car is going to pull off at the end of this lap. It's going to be on Philip Snipes' control here. Green is out, and away we go. And look at that launch in the 94. Oh, Sharp gets wobbled in the back. And it looks like we will stay green. But that's going to give some damage to Emily Howe at the very least.
Emily Howe was a part of that as well.
Wonder if Tommy Withers also got a lick too.
What happened here in this restart? Oh, she just bought it down big time.
Oh, yeah. Got a bit of wheel spin, and that caused it.
I don't know if it's wheel spin. It looks like it was like in the middle of a gear shift and it stalled.
Maybe it could be the damage related. I'm assuming it's not 100% that machine. Maybe it could have been a sim. Who knows? But regardless, 2 cars on the outside line. Not going to be too thrilled with that one. Battle for second heating on there. Nicholas Pressey will hold the spot, but this battle for third as Ruby Acosta and Lilic in the 89 all fighting hard for that second position, while Philip Snipes set the fastest lap of the race last time by and is looking to try to set sail and sail away from the battle for second.
Kelly Height, the first car, 1 lap down ahead of Zach McBride, who sits in 5th. Christina Ryan now 4 laps down, hoping for a little bit more to go her way.
Problem is that the next caution does come out. If Kelly Height is not involved, she most likely she would be the recipient, and then the laps start counting for Christina Ryan. So, like you said, she is going to need a little bit of help, or that 6-6 to get in a little bit more trouble, or to help cut that down. Ruby Acosta getting on the inside, well clear of the 94. Nicholas Pressey. Pressey going to try to get the run off. Can't get it done. Kelly Height just trying to hang on here. You know, Christina Ryan is not a car that she is fighting for position.
Battle for second still raging on between Acosta and Zier.
Presley has got a few wobbles the past couple laps, but keep an eye on that battle. And he's fallen into a distant fourth here, falling into the second pack. But battle rages on Ruby
Acosta in the wall.
Yeah, it's going to give the 89 a chance here on the inside.
I think Acosta's going to get through pretty cleanly, just having a little bit better of a run. Acosta in the outside lane will keep second across the line, but it seems like Acosta's struggling pretty mightily in turns 1 and 2 compared to the 89 Azir.
It's still knocking, but yeah, Ruby Acosta just needs to kind of just, I don't say hold the line, but just try to keep putting fast in, fast out. But looks like the spot will finally change hands. Now she's going to try to go on the attack here in the 40, switch lines, but can't really get a fender in there. So put Lilac up the second, put Ruby down the third.
There's the 6 of Withers, trying to make his way through. Missing his number panels, it looks like, but he's in the 6. Mark Martin throwback.
Yeah. Looking to be one of the first drivers to win with an unnumbered car, even though that is just a trading paints issue. But still be kind of funny if it was an actual diecast. It's a misprint right now, again, holding off Christina Ryan, who is one down.
Yeah, Withers trying to go after Nick Pressey there for 4th place. Withers has spent a lot of time just kind of letting the race kind of come to him. Sat and been patient all night. They battle for 4th. Sear staying ahead of Acosta for 2nd place. Withers right to the bumper of the 94 Pressey.
Presley has kind of struggled this whole season with long run and conserving tire wear, and you kind of just see the effects right there as lap times have fallen off dramatically. Tommy Withers looking to strike here, and I think he'll get the job done here. That number, well, unmarked car, the 23, will get the job done, put him up a spot. He'll be up the 4, but Nicholas not going to allow him to go away, going to try to challenge back here in that Home Depot machine. And he'll actually have a good run here. He could clear it.
Whoa!
Can't clear himself,
contact.
though, as he was, yeah, contact. Luckily, Nicholas was a little bit smart there, knew not to finish it, and they'll rage on. Obviously, Christina looking at this, not hoping to be involved in it.
Withers trying to solidify 3rd place and hopefully move forward towards the podium. Withers started off the season hot, trying to end off the regular season hot as well.
Yep. Not any chance he can make the chase, just out here having fun, trying to get good results in that Valvoline machine. Not missing anything up front. It's still Philip Snipes holding a consistent 1 second gap over Lilac in the 89. And Ruby Acosta just in a bit of a, not distant 3rd, but about another second behind that. They're all running similar-ish times. If one makes a mistake, the other should capitalize.
Both the lap down cars there of Ryan and Hal. Not very often we get to say that, but technical issues plague both of those cars. But as those two together struggle, we have to go up front.
Honestly, that'd be a fun little ABN Vault history question of when, at what point, if ever, will Christina Ryan and Emily Howe both lap down the same race?
Daytona.
Yeah.
That'd be an easy answer there. But other than that, yeah, it's a rarity. Philip Snipes losing a little bit of time now. Zier pulling in some long run pace here as we look to complete lap 70.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
gonna
cautions
be a
out
caution
for Acosta.
Yep. What happened to her? It looks like it was obviously she was alone on the track, so.
Oh, that car is not happy either. Here's what happened to the Queen's Design driver in through 1 and 2. Oh, just clipped the yellow line.
Yep.
Spins it out of the corner.
Doesn't really hit anything too much except the wall at the end.
Ms. Callie Height will be the free pass recipient, I do believe.
Correct. She wasn't involved, so she will get her lap back. Now she'll be on the lead lap, giving us 8 cars on the lap when it's all said and done. Top 7 all coming on in. Fuel and or tires. And in turn, that's going to allow Emily Howe and Christina Ryan to get a lap back through the wave round.
If they don't pit here, yeah, that'd be a chance to get a lap back pretty easily.
Obviously, when you're that many laps down, you got to try something and hope maybe there's another quick caution.
I think Christina and Emily both know that cautions breed cautions a pretty fair amount.
Yeah, and we're only on lap 72. We're not even halfway yet, so it's not a total launch to say that could possibly happen. On the race out of pit lane, Philip Snipes obviously wins it. Lilac will come home in second. A lot of cars electing to fix optimal damage here. So, long stagger for third. But it's going to go to Zach McBride. Looks like Nicholas Presley, did he beat the pace car out? He will by a hair. Somebody will make it out. Lily Play Sharp does not, so she will actually go 1 down here in this exchange. So now she'll be on the 1. So now, again, bit of a problem for Christina Ryan and Emily Howe is now that 18 is a lap down. It will not allow either car a chance to get a lap back unless the 18 ends up involved in her own little incident.
Couple laps left here in the 6th caution of the night. As we approach lap 75 of 200, it'll be Philip Snipes leading the way alongside Lilac Zier, who is reining in the pole sitter. 2 cars in front of the 98. Emily Howe and Christina Ryan off the lead lap, trying to get a wave around to get one of those laps back. As long as they do not pit, Christina Ryan will be 3 laps down. Emily Howe will be 5 laps down.
Correct.
On this restart.
And the one thing worth noting is Philip Snipes, very good short run car. We saw that on restarts. He can pull away in that 98 and really effectively get some distance. But that 89, good long run. So if we get a long run here, can get a long run, I think it's going to play in the hands of Lilac. But if we keep getting short run, that could favor the 98. So fortune will tell what happens. Obviously, none of us are Nostradamus, so we'll see how it all plays. But it's going to be Snipes and Zier first row, McBride Withers row 2, Costa Presley row 3. Well, when Presley gets caught up, he'll be in row number 3. And Callie Height will be the last car on the lead lap in row number 4.
Green flag back in the air, and away we go. 6th restart of the night.
Looks like at the moment advantage Snipes. Zach McBride, though, Getting a little feisty here. Thinks he wants second. Will try to take a lunge here, but just outbreaks himself. Now could fall in the clutches of Ruby Acosta.
Acosta's car still definitely less than 100%. And Snipes tries to hold on. So the race lead from Zier. For the back, you got, obviously, you got McBride, you've got Withers, you've got Pressey there in 6th. Kelly Hyde, a very distant 7th. McBride falls into the clutches of Withers.
Yes, Withers under double pressure here. Nicholas thought about possibly a run there, but just realized it's too deep. Oh, Withers runs up the racing surface. Almost puts McBride in the wall, but I think still works out. McBride, a little throat of danger, but at the very least, held the spot for a second, but now Withers coming back. Could get the run he needs here, but again, inside kind of fails a little bit. The outside can get you the better runs if you know how to work it.
Oh, McBride got loose there. Gives Withers that momentum right back, and Withers will clear into turns 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Withers gets clear. For the moment, McBride, however, going to hustle to try to get back to the podium. Currently being occupied by Snipes, Zier, and Acosta. Withers being patient.
Yeah, race is not it's a marathon, not a sprint. And knowing that tire wear has been a bit of a plague for that number 40 machine of Ruby Acosta. If he just kind of buys his time and saves stuff, yeah.
There's the 40 of Acosta, who we saw get loose out of turn 2. Turn 2's been the problem corner most of the race.
And as she gets loose, it's going to put more and more wear on those tires as the thing kind of fights it. And turn can strike. See a little bit further back, you can see just in the distance, you can see that battle between Nicholas Pressey and Zach McBride. So it looks like Pressey is going to be able to clear, or at least he's on the pathway to clearing. Get the job done.
So Acosta sits 3rd. The gap for the lead is down to 6/10.
Yeah.
As Zier, once again, trying to make some long-run pace happen here. Obviously only been under green flag conditions for about 10 laps. But Zier keeping this 98 honest.
Yeah. Looking at lap times, last time obviously Zier was faster. Obviously she's gaining, that would make sense. Only thing is she can't burn her stuff up.
Yeah, you definitely
put her in a world of hurt if she tries to get a little too aggressive early, try to stay close, and then burns the stuff up. And then it's kind of just a sitting duck. It's almost just the point where you're just kind of watching to see what she does different, because at a point it's kind of working for her, but then you can see there this time by it's going to be a tad, it's actually just a tad faster. She gets better run off the line. I was going to say slower because the corner entry, but the exit was actually faster. It's just kind of watching just to see what she does. She's backing up the corners a bit to try to get a better run down the straight there. She's a bit slower. And Phillips is able to pull away here and in turn kind of grow that gap. It's up a 10th now. It was 0.71, now it's 0.81. So we do know Zier is faster, at least on the long run, at least if we saw from last stint. So I have to keep in mind as the run goes on and his tires get some life on them, if maybe she can cut that down.
Gaps open back up to 0.8 of a second as the battle for fourth has trimmed down to 0.6. Withers closing in on the 40 of Ruby Acosta.
Mm-hmm.
Acosta hanging around the outside. Withers keeps a plan into the inside lane. This is Withers' home track.
Mm-hmm.
Lives relatively nearby in Fredericksville.
And
here in Virginia.
Yep. And you can see Ruby's just running an unorthodox line. You can see almost everyone that, like, you can see with Snipes, Zier, Withers. They all run that close to the apron and run off. Ruby feels confident in that middle, the kind of high groove through the corner. She doesn't go to the line. She kind of holds the middle line and then gets on the throttle later. The advantage, obviously, she can get on the throttle a little bit more aggressively and not worry about the car going aggressively up the racing surface. The downside, obviously, is it's the longer way around. So it's got its highs and lows. But right now, with the setup and how she's driving it, Ruby feels confident. And right now it's working, but with the times falling, I wonder if maybe she should try a different line. But obviously, easier said than done. If she elects to go lower, it helps her in the sense that it helps cut off Tommy Withers. But at the same point, it may bring her out of her comfort zone. This may be the fast way around for her, and she feels most comfortable here. So, right now, Withers just chipping away. It's going to have a fender in there probably this or next time by. It'll definitely be on the corner panel for lap 100 at the rate it's going.
Philip Snipes keeping about a second gap right now. We're watching the battle for third place take place between Ruby Acosta and the 40 and the Valvoline machine of Tommy Withers as they battle. Withers has been chipping away. He's gotten the gap down to less than a quarter second. Acosta's tried to change her line a little bit, try to squeeze off that inside lane. Withers still using it to great effect so far.
It's not a horrible strategy. If you can put the pinch on Withers and make him feel a little bit more crowded, a little bit more uncomfortable, it can cause mistakes, especially if you can't get the run off.
Likewise, the battle for sixth here. Callie just got around Zach McBride. McBride was trying to fight that position forward. Won't be able to make it happen.
Yep, and Nicholas Pressey is also there just above the foreground, so Callie Height has a big orange target to chase for a top 5. Watching this, you're not missing anything up front. Gap is basically stabilized between Snipes and Zier. It's been hovering around about 0.7 and 0.8 respectively. So cross the line this time. We're still watching the battle for third here. He will hit lap 100.
First half of this race.
There's a few drivers not happy we've gone this long out of caution. Some of the ones that are lapped down just because they want to get back in the lead lap. They want to compete. But for the other drivers, this is probably a bit of a happy reprieve, being able to finally run some laps while interrupted by some cautions. And in turn, it does spell, at least the moment, we could be on pace for some green flag pit stops not too long in the distant future.
Snipe still leads the way by 3/4 of a second. This battle for third, the closest battle on track. Withers has to be careful in that Valvoline machine not to burn up too much of his front tires. Chasing down that 40, who's burning up her rear tires, trying to stay ahead.
Yeah. It's like two fighters. It's two fighters having health bars blinking, and one's eventually going to break. But if the other one puts too much energy in it, they could fall easily to the clutches. Of the battle for fifth happening right now as Callie Height's looking prime and poised to get around that 94 machine. As I just cut back and almost she mowed down the 94 machine.
They both run up the hill there through 1 and 2.
Callie is chipping away here. He's got that pace difference.
It's very interesting because they both fell in the same time, same lap.
True, but we've seen it kind of throughout. Oh,
Whoa,
I think
she got to be careful there. Almost did the same thing that she did to Hagen.
Ooh, as we were watching that, Withers got in the Ruby Acosta, and they coughed themselves some times here. So now, as you look on the pylon scoring, that gap's about now 2 seconds instead of what it was before. So if Callie can get around Nicholas, or Nicholas can hang on, they could catch this podium battle here we're watching up the road there.
Emily Howe, first one to blink. 5 laps down, entering this as Callie Height and Nick Pressey get together, and caution comes out.
Yep. It felt like it was going to happen eventually with how late Callie was going in the corners. Nicholas was kind of backing him up. Callie felt like, actually, it's a little bit earlier. My mistake as I just looked back at my own replay perspective. But yeah, just, Nicholas not going to be happy with that.
Yeah, Nick runs through the corner here. It's a very peculiar circumstance there. We're right on board with the 66 of Callie Height. You can hear everything that we're hearing.
Goes. As I'm listening to kind of radio comms here, Nicholas is wondering what he did wrong. Like, he's wondering what happened. Callie's saying you were too slow to some degree.
Yeah, Callie just ran him over.
Yeah. Like, you gotta be, I understand you have the faster car, but at some point you gotta be a little bit more patient. But I could also see, like, in the distance, there's a chance to catch. It's just messy.
There wasn't even an attempt to step to the inside on that circumstance. Yeah. Like, not doing yourself any favors.
No, you're not 100% not, and the radio comms didn't help either. But anyway, as pit stops are occurring here, cars are coming in and out. It looks like Philip Snipes is going to come out ahead here, and Zier in second. Withers is going to come out in third, as Ruby Acosta, Nicholas Pressey, Callie Height, and Christine Ryan obviously in here as well, just pitting because she needed to pit. All electing to fix some damage up here, at least the very least. Meanwhile, something I'm listening to the radio comms here is waiting for the field to kind of get grouped up here as things play out. Zach Bride obviously elected to stand, so he will be the leader. The commodity between Withers and Ruby Acosta, as they were battling for those many laps there, good commodity there as they were fighting hard and kind of just enjoying the moments. You'd love to see that in sim racing, where two drivers kind of have a good battle, even if it's for first, podium, last, and just kind of having good duke out there. So you do love to see it. I just want to give some credit where credit is due, that both tipping the hat of respect to each other. Like, it's still on the pace car here. It's obviously nice cars electing the pit here. We should get the one to go next time by. It's gonna be McBride and Snipes when they do group up. It's gonna be McBride and Snipes in the front row, Zier and Withers row number 2, Ruby Acosta and Nicholas Pressey will be in row number 3 with Height and Sharp. As Sharp did get her lap back because of the caution, so 8 cars will be on the lead lap. Still in chance to fighting for this win. As actually Zach Bride will come in. Not want to start in the front row here, maybe become a nuisance. He will come in. So now we'll re-inherit the lead back to Snipes. So it'll be Snipes, basically bump everything up one. So Snipes, Zier, Withers, Costa, Pressey, Height, Sharp, McBride will be the first 4 rows. Bride wanted those bonus points. So pace car going to come off here. Green is out. And away we go. Zier looking good here at the very least. Outside line obviously be favorable on the first opening stint here, at least first laps. And it looks like Zier is going to get clear, and she will head to the point and take the lead. First time that 89 has been in the lead all day. Question is now, can she hold? As we know.
Whoa, Wither spins!
Oh, Wither spins, and also Pressy does as well. A bit related, but not indirect. 2 cars spin there, and that will be a caution.
Here's what happens here, and these two are right behind each other entering turn 3. Did Withers get help? I don't think so.
Nope.
Pressy tries to change direction. Gets to the side of Emily Howe, who saves it. Christina Ryan will get the free pass anyway.
Yeah.
8th caution of the night. We're back into the cycle right now where cautions can breed cautions.
It was just, at the end of the day, it was really just one little mistake and then another effect. Trying to avoid it was what that main issue was. But, like you said, cautions breed cautions.
Just think, see what's going on here real quick. I'm trying to get organized into some sort of group formation here.
Actually, Snipes actually, looks like he cut the engine there is what cost that little stack up out of 1. But it looks like everything's kind of getting sorted out here. 100% why the 98 said he cut the engine, maybe save fuel, but still another pit stop. Actually, he was checking fuel, my mistake. So, looks like it all gets sorted out here. Only cars coming in, obviously Withers and Pressy. Pressy, obviously, they both kind of cooked the tires, so probably coming in, some to fix damage or get fuel.
We're going to take another look at this, because Christina Ryan should have gotten a lap back here. Unless she got a piece of Withers. I don't see where she got involved in that.
I think maybe she gets with...
It would have been with Acosta.
It could be... I don't know. Yeah, I don't see anything unless it's like it counts instance after caution, because she does get into the back of Snipes once they get to the pace car.
Oh, that could be it.
Very weird circumstance here.
So she'll stay 3 laps down.
Yeah,
Emily Howe goes back to being 6.
Yep, because since Emma Howe was involved with a little tap, almost tapped by Pressy, in a turn. Yeah. Regardless, nothing really changed on the lap down circumstances, as I was talking myself into a loophole.
It'll be Lilac Zier leading the field to green on this restart. Got a really good launch, but she'll have to be on the inside lane for this restart. Yep. Giving the pole sitter, Philip Snipes, that outside lane. Acosta, Height, Peltier, Sharp, McBride, Withers, top 7. Pressy still in pit lane as it sits. In danger of going a lap down. He's going to try to beat the pace car out.
And he will. Pace car going to come off here. See if Zier can do the same magic she did last time by. Will the outside line prevail? Away we go.
Acosta with a little bit of wheel spin there in that second row. Bogs down that inside lane, but Zier does get a good restart.
Big racy in the back there.
Car in the wall, McBride. He'll step backwards.
Ryan, this right here looks like they'll all
McBride's
get.
still on the wall.
Yeah, he's kind of struggling. Looks like he kind of got maybe hit that wall, got enough of a hit. It just doesn't feel like he can get off it. And it happens sometimes in the wall again, as I just saw from my own perspective. Yeah, he is struggling at 47 right now. Looks like he's finally got it off. Looks like he'll get it going, but
They mostly just trying to stay out of the way at that point in time, just trying to get to the safest place he can be at the time being. Kelly Height running the outside lane. Trying to make up spots. Sitting in fourth.
up front, Snipes is knocking on the door of Zier. It's a Camry against the Ford.
It's Ford against Pontiac here as Withers sits spun around.
Oh.
Oh, and a huge contact there.
Yep.
Christina
Withers
Ryan got plowed into after the caution had come out.
Withers, Height, Ryan, McBride, all involved.
This one's not on Height. Withers just sent it in super deep. Tried cutting off the outside lane, and Height was already in it. Here's what it looks like. Withers sent it in super deep into turn one. And it just didn't stick. And Callie was trying to get out of the way because she saw that Withers was coming up. Christina Ryan got on the brakes trying to avoid getting hit, but got clobbered by both Pressey and McBride, who did not do the same.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate for Christina Ryan because Christina Ryan was set to get free pass out of that. And because of ARCA braking, won't be able to.
Nope. Just a
She's
kick
gonna
in
be
the
frustrated.
teeth. Oh, yeah. Because you could argue that last time she maybe should have got a lap back, didn't. Now she should have got another lap back. She was involved. She was involved because of something that was out of her control. And she'd be one down if that didn't happen, but now she's still three.
With the initial repair.
Yep.
That's the kicker right there.
It's amazing she's still plowing on, trucking on, whatever you want to use the analogy. Still giving it her all. So the only cars I liked in the pit there were ones trying to fix damage from that incident. Some electing to stay out, but most of the field will stay out.
I mean, 76 laps to go.
And honestly, I was watching the last two restarts here. It's honestly, I think right now the battle between Zier and Snipes, whoever gets the better run off, like in the start, obviously it's going to favor the inside, but it feels like that time by, Snipes was kind of knocking on the door there. He felt like he could possibly got around. The run went a little longer before the caution came out. He was knocking. So it's right now, I would argue a coin flip between these two right now and who's the favorite to win this race, because they both are kind of giving each other good heavy shots. And I think whoever kind of gets the good launch off the straight, or whoever can kind of maybe pull some strategy to get ahead off the restart, is looking poised to be the car to take the lead and possibly win this thing. Because they're just so equal throughout the laps. Every time Zier gains a little bit, Snipes gets it back. Every time Snipes gets a little bit, Zier gets it back.
Lights out on the pace car, which means we're coming to green at the end of this lap. We're within the last 75 laps. There'll be 74 to go at the green. It's Zier and Snipes at the front of the field. Acosta and Peltier Sharp in row number 2. Pressy McBride, row 3. Kelly making a last stop here. Will drop to the tail end of the field. Will be 8th and only lap. Pace car pulls in. Green flag back in the air. Good restart by Snipes that time. Sierra kept it planted there on the inside. Through 1 and 2. We'll get clear in 3 and 4. Peltier Sharp looking for a potential podium, battling with the wounded Acosta.
Almost feels like we're at a point whoever gets the least damage is going to be the best chance of getting some good spots here.
Peltier Sharp trying to put the power down there. Will struggle to do so. We'll lose a spot to Acosta and to Pressy. See both Christina Ryan and Emily Howe trying to get around Peltier Sharp now.
Kind of falling into the rhythm here. They're just trying to see what they can do. Only good as your own battle. With a lot of drivers being able to a little bit prone to error here tonight. You can just kind of hide your line and get a push. You can maybe ride enough. You can force someone into an error. Because trying to work her way through traffic here. Well, no, Zach McBride is the only real traffic she's working her way through.
McBride now the first car a lap down. Kelly Height took some extended repairs, actually now behind Christina Ryan.
Yep. And actually, she's going to go. She's actually going to possibly go another lap down here as she's about to get caught by the leaders.
Yeah, here's the leaders right now as they battle for the race lead. Acosta battling to hold on to 3rd place. As letting the 83 of Emily Howe go by. Trying to pick up something and learn a little bit from the 83. And try to hold on to that podium as well in the process.
Nicholas has a chance here to set up for something.
Absolutely he does. Trying to get a podium like what he did at Bristol a few weeks ago. Callie Height, fresh tires in the field by a couple laps. Trying to make the most of them, but running the outside lane. Well, Zier and Snipes run the inside lane. Battles all throughout the field. In this top 5. I think Pressy's got his hands full more with Peltier Sharp.
Yeah, he's gotten around. Away.
And for Christina Ryan, unfortunately, it's a bit of a hurry up and wait scenario. She's in the best seat in the house, as good as it can be. As long as McBride's involved in the accident, if there's a caution that comes out, she's in the catbird seat to get a free pass. McBride taking it easy.
Kind of keep an eye up front here. Emily Howe is going to try to. I don't know how aggressive she'll try to force ways. Actually, I just saw Snipes get a little loose. He'll save it, but it's under pressure. But yeah, we still focus on this battle here. I'm keeping an eye up front. You're keeping an eye on this perspective. Sharp and Pressy are the closest battle we have. And now, yeah, Emily Howe going to cut through here and just try to get around. And she is fast. We've seen her have a strong car most of this week.
Yeah.
So it's at a point where she's going to want to go through just in case, obviously, put herself 4 down, obviously, if anything happens. And in turn, there's that second thing, the note, is that they are going to catch Callie Height as well. So you're going to have two cars kind of there, not helping either's case. And it's just going to be wondering the effect of how is this going to help any driver?
We'll find out. Zero right now has the advantage. 0.8 of a second the gap. Almost a full second now. In favor of the 89 Ford.
So it's like Emily Howe's going to probably press the issue just a tad. The question is, how much will the 89 fight it? Doesn't look like much, but you can see that just that little squabble there. Now, again, Zero's going to be stuck behind it. And that allowed Snipes to catch back up. And that's a caution. Sharp had an incident.
Standing perpendicular on the track.
I think maybe Presley had a piece, possibly. Or
Not
maybe
sure what happens here.
Actually, I'll confirm
no,
it.
it's McBride.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just went back. Oh, yeah, that's a lick.
And because McBride got a piece of it, I believe Christina Ryan gets the free pass because Christina Ryan saw it move to the inside lane there to avoid it.
Correct.
Didn't get a piece of it, but Pelletier sharp. Obviously, we saw the very tail end there. Half in the toe, back to pit lane. That car done for the time being. As the leaders come down pit lane. Christina Ryan will be the fortunate one to get the free pass.
Still going to be a long ways away to get back on the lead lap. Still going to be two
This
down.
helps.
Yeah. She's going to need at least another caution, but with so many cars kind of just falling out of the field, every car that leaves makes it a little bit harder to get another caution, but see how it plays out. Emily Howe's now also 3 down as well, so she was able to kind of plow her way up, get her way through to the front, and now at least looking good in her own perspective.
See if Callie Height gets a wave around or not, because if so, she would also end up just being 2 laps down here. Looks like that might be what she decides to do here.
Yep, looks like she will take the wave around. She's one of the first 2 ahead, like you were alluding to, Carmen. And it also, it looks like it will be a race as on as Callie Height will actually, we still say 2 down. So the race for the lucky dog is still on here.
Yeah.
McBride 1 down, Ryan 2, along with Callie Height, and Emily Howe with 3. So when we get going here on restart, we'll just be over 50 laps to go. And it's been a race of calamity, a race of a topsy-turvy race, I should say. As the early favorites have all had a bit of trouble or connection issues, or both. And it's right now up front, the two Titans fighting for the win, it seems, is Lilac Zier and Philip Snipes. Fighting hard for this win. And you don't count out Nicholas Presley and Ruby Acosta as well. They've both been pretty in contention as well, so it'll be quite interesting to see how this all plays out. These last few laps should be exciting to see who can take the checkered flag and who can take those steps on the podium.
One car's catching up here as we get ready to go green. Pace car pulls in. Sear, Snipes, Pressy, and Acosta. Top 4.
Oh, and Sear did not get going. She had a bogged down restart, but she could get a run back on the inside.
Whoa! Gotta keep it close and careful there as the 89 and the 98 make contact twice. With 53
Honestly,
laps to go.
I can see that. I can sense the move a little bit. Oh, Sear gets a little bit of a tap there from Ryan. Or Ryan, a little checkup. Regardless, it affects both cars, and that's the break Snipes needed. And now Philip is gonna have a chance to kind of get some distance here. I was kind of saying. I was saying.
Acosta goes around.
Acosta around. That's gonna be a caution.
Oh, huge contact, and that's both Height and Howell involved. The other car's a lap down. I believe McBride might get the free pass from that because he's one lap down.
And I don't think he was involved in any of those instances. I'll just confirm going back with us. Yeah, he was not involved. So he
was behind most of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Acosta just grips that yellow line. And you see McBride take that hard left. Wow. So McBride will bail out here and get back on the lead lap in that 47 machine.
Yeah.
And what I could probably imagine will happen here is that Christina Ryan now firmly... Oh, no, Philip Snipes stayed out too. Very interesting.
Interesting.
So did Pressy, to be fair.
Yeah. Fresh tires are an advantage, but with such recent a pit stop not too long ago, they feel confident they can make this work. But I just want to go back to that restart and just kind of I was finishing my point on that, is that you saw it for the past couple of restarts. Whoever got the lunge and whoever got the spot was usually to hang on, as they were running such equal times that neither car really could cut in. So there, the race was on to see who could take it out of two, and whoever could clear first was in the best chance to hold it. And right there, you saw Philip Snipes was able to do it, and in turn was able to get distance. Now, obviously, another caution, monkey wrench in the works, and with Zier pitting along with the other cars, obviously more for damage. This is going to be quite interesting to see how this circles out. But Zier is going to have fresh rubber, and in turn, not going to be that far back. In retrospect, she's going to be right behind the 98 with about 7-ish lap better tires, which may not have an effect now, but could have an effect later on.
Yeah, all the cars off the lead lap now, coming down pit lane. Snipes and Pressy will be on the front row here for this restart with Zier, then McBride. McBride will have to start at the end of the field due to being the free pass recipient.
Mm-hmm.
Then Acosta, Withers on the lead lap. Kelly Height 2 laps down. Same with Christina Ryan, as they all try to get repairs done on their machines here.
Looks like Kelly Height may go another one down. Oh, go down. It looks like no, she will make it up. So.
Oof, close.
Yeah.
It looks like Emily Howell. Looks like everyone will stay on the lead lap here.
Well, the lap they're currently on.
Yeah. Withers coming down pit lane for a late race pit stop here, within 50 laps to go.
So we got a bit of a, again, mixed bag here up front. Because again, with Zier pitting, even though it's not that big of a tire advantage, he's going to be relatively behind the cars that pitted. Because usually when you pull those strategies off, you expect, like, for instance, the 89 to be 3, 4, 5 rows deep. With so many cars having problems tonight or issues or being laps down, it's going to just promote the 89 basically almost up, basically on the tail end of the 2 cars in question. Yeah. Basically almost a free pit stop, just cost her 1 spot.
So a direct line of sight with the driver that she's been battling with all night long, and Philip Snipes.
Pace car going to pull off. Going to be out of Phillips' control.
46 laps to go. Here we go. Fessy with a good launch there as well. Outside lane keeping it pretty good and steady.
You know that 94 is hungry for what happened at Bristol. So close yet so far. Going to try to get some bit of it. He wants to finish second in points at the very least. And also wants to give himself momentum and also revenge what happened at Bristol. But still plenty of laps where that can happen. Looks like Ruby Costa clipped the wall just a tad.
Looking on that 80 once again, doing the same thing she did last time. Try to get to the field and get one of those laps back. Almost got ahead of Snipes before that caution came out. You see Emily Howe trying to do the exact same thing. Callie Height struggling a little bit more in that process.
Yeah, and if she can get that job done and get to the past that car, another quick caution comes out, she'd be back on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's the main goal right now.
So luckily she's not fighting Emily Howe. Emily Howe is 3 down, Kristen Ryan's 2. But if Emily Howe gets around, then Ryan will still get the lap back.
Yeah.
But a bit more of a contention on that fight. So our makeup
These
right
drivers went laps down because of technical difficulty earlier in this race. Trying to race it back the hard way around with laps ticking down, with coming to 40 laps to go here in a couple laps.
And remember, no green, white checkered, so
yeah,
they need those cautions to come quick and fast. Philip Snipes currently still leading the way. That Tennessee Vols scheme almost looks like the Huggers Orange scheme from the NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. Vol up front. Looks like Emily Howe has gotten around Nicholas Pressey for second. Well, not second, but second in line here, trying to get her lap back. Christina Ryan struggling a little bit to get around that 94. But the roads are becoming a bit harder. See how it all plays.
Oh, this is important here because that is Christina Ryan getting around the race leader in Philip Snipes. No, excuse me, that's Nick Pressey.
That's Nicholas Pressey.
Snipes
Nick
is
Pressey.
still very far ahead.
Correct. Emily Howe's about to catch Philip Snipes, though.
Yeah.
Christina Ryan just got passed by Zier, though. Now Zier on the attack. Christina tried to make a send there, as you just saw a minute before, but just couldn't complete it. And now she's behind 2 cars, so that road becomes a bit harder. At this point, she kind of just needs a caution just to get bunched back up. But again, you wish for a caution, but sometimes you end up being the caution if you're not careful.
Especially when that happens, Zier and Ryan make contact.
Zier obviously has a mission plan. She's got to take advantage and try to get back up to that 98. Can't dilly-dally as the laps tick away. Christina Ryan probably not too happy with that as well.
Yeah, Zier hip checking the 80 as they both came together. 3 turns 3 and 4 last lap. Zier trying to make quick work of the 94 Pressey as they roll through turns 1 and 2 here. Coming to 35 laps to go. When they cross the line this time, Philip Snipes will take that first as he tries to hold off Emily Howe a little bit. Not really much to fight for here. Emily Howe will try to clear on the outside lane. That 83 machine. Snipes in the 98. From pole position is not led as much of this race as one would believe. But trying to gather all those laps led in the late stage where the points matter the most. Zier gets around Press. If you saw that pass take place. Acosta there in 4th, lingering, hoping these two continue to battle and maybe draw a little bit more contact like what we saw between Zier and Ryan. Snipes trying to follow Emily Howe a little bit, trying to stay away from this battle as the laps continue to wind down.
At this point, if I was, Philip, I would be almost let Emily Howe go here, because that's not your fight. Your fight is fresh tire 89 behind your mirror right now. And every time you kind of scrap with that car that's 3, now 2 down, and Emily Howe, you're just allowing that 89 to reel it in. Is now she has clean track at the very least. Now, obviously, 2 seconds, big ass to make up. But as the laps tick on and the wear comes to those tires, it becomes a bit easier and easier and easier. At least in theory.
Everyone spread out just a little bit here. Pelletier Sharp in pit lane. Her race is over.
Just watching again, Philip Snipes just. It's like finally Emily Howe will get around, but. Ugh. It almost gives me shades of vibes of like when Rocky Gordon fought the lap down car at Sonoma back, I think, in '99. Allowed Tony Stewart to catch. Pick your battles.
You're trying to close that gap in. I don't think Snipes is trying to battle so hard with Emily Howe.
Oh, no. I don't think that's the case either. It's just that he's getting those runs off in the corners. And also in turn, that dirty air is now affecting too, so he's trying to maybe get around. It's just a bad spot. It's like 2 battles on the brew. A little bit closer up, we got Nicholas Pressey and Ruby Acosta fighting for the last podium spot. Acosta within reasonable distance to make something happen on that 94, but just tapped the wall a little bit though, so it's been a little bit of time lost for her. So as these laps tick down, we're going to be soon within 25 to go. We're going to have this basic 2 races, one for the fit, one for the possible win, and the other one for the last step of the podium at the moment.
Yeah, you know, Tommy Withers there sitting in 5th, just a little bit ahead of Zach McBride.
Mm-hmm. What we can do here.
Almost put the bumper to the 94, Pressey.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to 25 laps to go. This is again the battle for the podium. 3rd place of Pressey, 4th place of Acosta. Oh, Pressey got a little bit loose there.
It's going to open the door. Pontiac versus Chevy.
Tight battle here. Pressey
like Ruby
will lose that spot.
Yep, Ruby will get it around.
Not over yet.
Yep.
Exiting turn 2 into turn 3 here. Acosta just has to keep it nice and steady for the next 22 laps.
Mm-hmm. The podium will be hers. Obviously, again, Nicholas Pressey wants P2 in the standings. Every point matters, every position matters. And the car, actually, I wouldn't say that. That's a mistake on my part. But, yeah, wants to try to get that job done. So it's 20 to go. Hits. Looks like Ruby Costa getting some separation from Nicholas Presley, but a battle that's slowly chipping down here. Is our battle for the lead and battle for the win with Philip Snipes and Lilac Zier. Zier has cut it down to 1.2. Looks like she's pushing it just a bit too hard. The laps have fallen off just a tad. And she's running about equal to that 98. Keeping an eye on Zier. She is fighting hard here. Try to reel it up. Every time I just watch, she's pushing just a bit too hard. And that car is not liking what she's doing right now. She is struggling. Just keeps losing time. Ooh, she just hit the apron. So you've hit 15 to go here. Zier has been really struggling. She's been clipping multiple aprons, multiple situations. And she's now basically lost all that time she gained. With so few laps left. It's going to need a Hail Mary to try to get back up to that 98 machine. Laps tick by fast at Richmond. 13 to go. Top 5 look pretty set in stone at the moment. 2 seconds or more gap intervals between everyone. Same thing with Christina Ryan, Kaylee Height, Emily Howe. Emily Howe does have possible chance to gain one more spot. With the regular season title basically hers, that extra point is all just for bragging points. If she were able to get up to that 1 extra position. Or well, the extra points would be hers. She can get that 1 extra position. Time by. We'll be within 10 to go. As Philip Snipes will come by. We'll take 10 to go here. Very comfortable. Tires not showing real wear. Be comfortable to make it home here at the moment. As long as his times hold. And 8 to go here. That 98 machine still keeping the gaps the same. Last time by 23.56 for Snipes, 23.47 for Zier. Zier had an advantage, but not enough to really cut into that 2-second gap. Another threat of lap traffic coming up to affect either driver here. Emily Howe has pulled away from the 98.
Makes it easy.
Mm-hmm. No real chance of air. Yeah, that may also be helping too, that 98, because now no real effective air wash or dirty air. 6 to go. Gap's going back to 2.2. Five to go. Gap holding between Snipes and Zier. Costa is cutting a little bit in, but 5 seconds back. There's no chance she'll get it unless one of these cars makes a mistake. Fuel should be good for all cars. Obviously, no pit stops required for anyone to get to the end.
We're set to see a rookie potentially. With less than 3 miles left to go. Earn his first win here in ABN. Battle of attrition.
Should be noted, he started on the pole position, but he wasn't the dominant. He started in the pole position in a bit of a wacky qualifying that gave him the pole position. And even though he hasn't really been the strongest car at the start of this race, he survived the attrition, survived the chaos. He's looking poised to take this win. Again, even though this is the cutoff line for the chase, and obviously a win will not get him in. This is not the system we run. He's out here running for fun, but a win will still be great to take back to the shop, or the virtual shop. Be very proud of. 2 to go here. Gap is the 2.4.
Been outstanding so far tonight. With 1.5 miles left to go. Philip Snipes looking to take on the mantle of being a race winner in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. Coming out of turn 4. He'll take the white flag lap. 1 lap to go here in Richmond with 2.3 seconds in hand. All he has to do is tiptoe around one last time. Lilac Zier, likewise for her. All she needs to do is tiptoe around. Same with Acosta. And they got a podium. But out of 4 for the final time, it's the Tennessee Volunteers driver, Philip Snipes, wins here in Richmond.
And Zier will come home in second. At the very least, that should be good enough to get her into the chase. So she will be fighting for a championship in 2 weeks' time. Ruby Acosta comes home in third. And that should, if my standings are right, presumably give her second in points. Even though, again, with a reset coming, it doesn't mean much. But at least a bit of a pride moment for her in that 40 being the best of the rest. Bessie comes on fourth. And Tommy Withers will get a nice top 5. The hometown kid will get a top 5 first trouble. As the rest cross, you'll see as they all finish. But again, Philip Snipes going to be proud of that. I assume he's going to try to burn this thing down.
Phenomenal drive for Philip Snipes. Race winner. Not his debut race, but his debut win here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. What a way to finish off the regular season. Philip Snipes to park it there near the pit lane. Again, a phenomenal job for Philip Snipes. Just an outright fantastic job for him. What a phenomenal job for him. His first career race win. We'll hear from him shortly.
Do not go anywhere. We'll try to get the top 3, maybe the top 5 in here. See what we have time for. But at the very least, we will get our race winner here and hear his thoughts on how the race went.
Yeah, we'll start off with talking to the race winner here. We'll talk with Philip Snipes in just a second. Philip, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
What a drive. Obviously a race of attrition for some, but for you, from pole position to race win, Seemed like you just had it pretty well figured out here tonight. Walk us through this race. A lot of difficulties from some drivers, but again, you made it look easy.
Yeah, it wasn't as easy as it may have looked. The Lilac was putting up a fight after Emily and Christina had their technical issues, but I know it would have been a dogfight if they were out there.
Walk us through that, because some people obviously got it better than others. What were you kind of dealing with in this race tonight? Because it seemed like some drivers were either battling with understeer, some with oversteer. What was it with your car tonight that just made it seem like it was so planted tonight?
You just had to back up. One was difficult for everybody, but you just had to really back it up. And if you're backing up, you need to back it up more. And then I was just able to get such a drive off of 1. And then 3 and 4 was, I think everybody had that figured out. Just wrap the bottom. But really just going into 1, you really had to be easy going into 1. And I saw some people send it probably half a car length too deep, and even that's just going to kill the right front.
Obviously, you jumped in super late into the season, kind of just jumping in. Obviously, with about a couple races left in the season. Now you've made yourself a name as someone who can play spoiler here in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series. With the next 4 races coming up, obviously a week break, and then we see Charlotte, and then Rocket, and then Darlington, excuse me. Do we see this 98 potentially become a contender and playing spoiler in these events? Obviously, this breakthrough win, an important one, just kind of opening up that bank account. But do you feel confident that you can get another win or 2 out before the season ends?
Yeah, look at the next 4 races. Probably the best bet be Darlington because I'm more of a short track person. But in Phoenix, Darlington, the Phoenix race, that fits my driving style the best. But I'm more of a short track person as it is.
Well, you've got a few more races to try to figure some things out. Tonight worked out phenomenally for you. That number 98 Tennessee Volunteers Toyota in victory lane here tonight. Obviously, a huge celebration deserved for that 98 car. But before I let you go, and obviously let you kind of relax here, everyone obviously on track for over 2 hours at this point. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Philip, the floor is yours. Congratulations on your first career win in ABN and joining a very select group of drivers that have won here in the AdminBoxx Cup Series.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Emily for the setup. Emily, it was a good setup. I trust Emily with setups, and Carmen for you putting this on. This is fun. This is why I wanted to join halfway in the season. It was in have fun, and that's all it was. Like the first 2 races I ran, it was literally somebody got beside me, let them go. I'm just here to have fun.
Well, it looks like phenomenal fun, especially when you're in victory lane. Philip, again, congratulations on your race win tonight. Well earned, well deserved here at Richmond to end off the rest of the season. Congratulations, and obviously we'll be seeing you here very soon in Charlotte.
Yep, can't wait to get back at it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
That was Philip Snipes, race winner here tonight. We'll go through the rest of the top 5 finishers in tonight's contest if we can get a hold of them. We'll move on to second place finisher. We'll move on to Lilac Zier, the Ford driver for Slowbird Racing, and hear her thoughts on how tonight went. Lilac, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, hi.
Alrighty, obviously not the result you were looking for given how competitive that 89 car was tonight, but second place here at Richmond in a race that a lot of drivers were caught out in. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I would have liked to win. I mean, first of all, Emily and Christina had mechanical trouble. You hate to see that, but hey, if Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson both blow motors, someone still has to win the race, right? So once that happened, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go for it. And I thought for a little while there I had a chance, but I would have had to be perfect because Philip was on it. He had the pace to do it, and I think I could match that pace at the best of times, but I just would have had to not make mistakes, and I made a mistake on the restart. It got me behind him a little bit to lose the lead, and then the car was really loose on restarts on fresh tires in the second half of the race too, so that wasn't helping because I got behind him a little bit and I was trying to push too hard to try to make up for it and got sideways and then stacked up the inside line, and Chrissy had nowhere to go. Not her fault, but luckily we saved it, and then I kept going, and then there was another a caution for something else, and I took tires to see if that would give me any advantage at all, and it didn't seem like tires really mattered that much. I mean, maybe 40 lap difference tires would have mattered, but 10 lap didn't, and at least not enough, because I got it in the battle and I had to pass a couple cars to get back up to second, and then I could gain a little bit on him, and then I just pushed too hard, overheated him, and couldn't get any closer than that, and barely maintained the gap. Actually, I was losing time to third at the end. Actually, Ruby almost caught me, but I was glad to hold on to second.
Obviously,
I love Richmond. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Richmond is obviously a place, you finished second in the HTL Cup Series. That's actually kind of segueing into kind of what I was going to ask again here. You finished second in the HTL Cup Series here. You've done well, obviously, in ARCs here. You've done well elsewhere. You've done well, obviously, here in ABN. What is it about this track that this kind of suits you? You always seem to bring out a lot of pace, and you needed to tonight to make sure you were into the chase for the Cup.
Yeah, I don't know why I like this place so much. It just kind of suits me. I like the weird ones, and it's definitely the most probably the most difficult NASCAR short track for these cars anyway. I like it. I have fun. You know, you got to hit the right line, arc it in through one and off of two. It gets loose there. You got to be careful. And then 3 and 4 is more of a traditional turn, but you have that curved straightaway more so than like it's not a tri-oval. It's just more of a big arc, which is unique for short tracks. Kind of. I like it. It's I've had some good results here, some ones that I let get away, but I always just like Richmond.
Obviously, it worked out for you here this evening. Obviously, it was a race that you needed to have a really good result in. You got that result, another second place finish here in Virginia. Moved you up to 7th place in the points. So you are officially in, battling for a championship beginning 2 weeks from now in Charlotte. Now you can kind of take a second to kind of recharge and get ready for another set of races. Obviously, some races coming up I think you're looking forward to, with Darlington in that list of 4 races. How do you feel going into the chase?
Honestly, pretty good. I like all the tracks in there. I mean, Phoenix will probably be the toughest one for me, just by the nature of it. It's a lot like Richmond, but it's different. It's a really cool track, but it's not one that I've been good at usually, unlike Richmond for some reason. So that'll be fun. Charlotte should be interesting. I really love Darlington, and I have thrown away some good results there too. But I just love that track for some reason. And then Homestead's great too. Homestead's probably my favorite mile and a half. And I may not win any of those because that's just how it goes, but I'm gonna have fun at all of them.
Well, that's obviously an important kind of underlying here. Obviously, Phillips and I said the same thing. Like, it's about having fun here, and both of you seem to have a lot of fun and be successful in that endeavor tonight. Before we let you go and kind of let you unwind for the night, obviously, hopefully we get to see you again tomorrow for Iowa and Champ Car. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congrats again on a phenomenal performance tonight.
Yeah, I want to thank you for broadcasting and putting this league on. I want to thank my friends for being nice, and I want to thank everyone else for just watching, and I'll thank all the other people for racing, and I hope everyone has a fun rest of the season. I know that some people maybe don't like this car or are struggling with it, and we might not use it next season. We don't know. I hope that's not like a spoiler. I hope I didn't break news there. But whatever happens. I just want to enjoy this car for the next 4 races because I like racing it every chance I get.
Obviously, everything's still kind of being discussed and debated, obviously, regarding next season when that kicks up in late January. So no spoilers there because no one's figured out really anything yet. But obviously, this car is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun wheeling it around. And obviously, tonight at Richmond, you made that look phenomenal, getting a 2nd place finish. Lilac, congratulations on that podium. Hopefully, we get to see you tomorrow, and hopefully, we get to see you this weekend. Obviously, Sunday racing at Milwaukee for the trucks and ARCs. So still a lot of racing coming up.
Yeah, that should be fun too. Thanks, Carmen.
That was Lilac Zero, second place finisher here this evening. Obviously enjoying her time in the Gen 4 tonight. Obviously, Philip Snipes just a little bit quicker there from pole position. Zero gained 3 spots on that from her starting position in the race, finishing second from 5th place on the grid. The driver who gained the most of anybody for a podium here tonight is Ruby Acosta, the Queen's Design driver, continuing that top 5 run of form to end the regular season. Ruby, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy.
What a drive. Another phenomenal result here for you, for Queen's Design. Another 3rd place finish. Walk us through it. It's your second podium of the season. It's a difficult track. The difficult tracks seem to be where you shine the brightest.
It was really difficult, to tell you the truth. I was really struggling with the car, and I was just getting so much push in the middle of the corner. I was just really struggling, honestly, trying to learn it throughout the race. I didn't get much time with the setup before this race actually happened, so I was just sort of learning about it. And, like, I spun in qualifying, actually, so I didn't really get a chance to actually get a good start. But, I mean, I just tried my best, I just really, just grit my teeth and dealt with it. I got into a few incidents. I spun twice by myself, and I got into a few incidents that I just had I just couldn't escape from. But I mean, even with the damaged car, I just really tried my best, and I tried my best to get away from Nicholas Pressey, and yeah, I get the podium. So, I mean, it was definitely a race that had its ups and downs, but yeah, I guess I'm here at the end. So.
Yeah, you did a phenomenal job. Second place in the points. Obviously going into the playoffs here, or the chase for the cup, I should say. The 4 races coming up going to be very important. Obviously, everyone's had a chance to figure out this car a little bit over these last 12 weeks. Now it's tracks that drivers should be more familiar with, but also a decent challenge. Charlotte, Darlington coming up. Obviously, Homestead ends off the season. How are you feeling going into those 4 races? And obviously trying to go for a championship here in ABN.
I'm gonna set my expectations a little low. Try and just do as best, and try and just manage what I can, and try and match maybe the top 5 streak I've been having. I'm really looking forward to Darlington though, because Darlington is a track that I do enjoy. Also, I guess one of the hard tracks, and you say that I do excel at the hard track, so hopefully I do the same there. And yeah, just to keep up everything at the momentum, and just try not to give up, because I felt really like in the middle of this race, I really felt a bit frustrated at myself, but yeah, I just couldn't, I just tried to press on, especially spitting out and taking out my own teammate. I felt really bad about that, but I just had to sort of just rein it in, and we got the podium, so I'm really happy for that.
Absolutely, that number 40 looking strong, especially here the last couple races. 3rd place at Motegi, another 3rd place tonight. With the chase for the cup coming up very shortly. Charlotte and Phoenix, the next 2 races for the chase. Before we let you go, obviously, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Ruby, the floor is yours. You did a phenomenal job getting to 3rd place. Most spots gained tonight of anybody in the field. So a good charge forward to get that podium result tonight. But again, the floor is yours if there's anyone you want to shout out in particular for tonight's race.
As always, I want to shout out to my sponsor, Whalenet Designs. Great livery designer. Check out his Patreon. I like to shout out Racing Art Universe as well for all the support. And I'd like to say big thank you to Anor, big thank you to Mia, Kaina, who helped me with a bit of driving as well. Callie, I know Callie didn't have a great race today. I hope. But we'll both bounce back. Paige, April, Amber, and everybody at Queen's Design. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. So everybody, thank you so much.
Absolutely, Ruby. Again, congratulations on that 3rd place finish tonight. Again, the chase for the cup begins in 2 weeks' time, and Ruby's going to be one of the hard chargers in at 2nd place in the regular season standings as of tonight. Congratulations, Ruby. We'll be seeing you very soon at Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
That was Ruby Acosta, 3rd place finisher tonight. Her second podium, her third place in 3 races. Tongue twister trying to say third place in 3 races 3 times fast. Good luck with that. After Motegi finishing third here tonight, she gets it at Richmond again as well for Queen's Design. Then number 40 putting on a hot streak here in the later stages of the regular season. Again, she'll be second in the regular season standings, running into the chase for the Cup at Charlotte in 2 weeks' time. We'll have an official run through once we go through penalties and everything, probably in the middle of next week, once the chase grid officially sets in for the final 4 races of the season. We have one more interview coming up here, and that is that of Nicholas Pressey. 4th place finish tonight, not what he was looking for. He was hoping to at least equal what he did at Bristol. Couldn't do so this evening. Nick, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Carmen, how's it going?
Obviously, a long race here tonight. 4th place, not a bad effort. 3rd place in the regular season standings. You were pretty well locked in anyway going into tonight. But kind of just walk us through. Obviously, this race seemed difficult. You had your share of issues there. That 94 did not, definitely did not come away without some battle scars. But walk through the race for your end.
Well, short tracks are really not much of a problem for me unless, you consider the whole tire wear issue. So I knew if I could just keep my tires relatively okay, which I did a better job of than I did at Bristol, unfortunately, just with greater consequences for any deficiencies that I was missing relative to my competitors like Snipes and Sear. And then, there's once again the discipline issues with pit road. I don't know what's wrong with me in short tracks on pit road, but I keep finding myself speeding at least once. Gonna have to clean that up going into the postseason. On track, I got thrashed. There's no short way of putting it. I pretty much got thrashed out there all race. I'm doing my best, but and I know that there's probably a decent chance that if my car wasn't so ripped apart, I could have had a chance at getting one of those spots that I lost at the end there. I'm glad to be in the playoffs, but at the same time, I don't know what position I'm fighting for, because unless I can find a way to shape up, it's not going to be first.
Obviously, this car is difficult to drive, 750 horsepower. Obviously, we know that it's not easy. We saw a bit of that on hand here. The 4 races coming up, you look at Charlotte, Phoenix, Darlington, and Homestead. What of those tracks stick out as probably your biggest challenge going into those 4 races? Because all 4 of them present something unique in this chase.
Well, I think if I had to choose one track, which is going to be the one which gets the best of me, it's gonna be Phoenix. Very much a track that I tend to struggle at on older tires. Maybe I can do something with the strategy that'll help me out there. The other 3 tracks, I think I'm gonna have a much better time on. Really, the problem is closing the gap between us and Emily. She's just too good as things stand, and we have 2 weeks to figure out what we're doing wrong before it comes time to put up our dukes for this title.
Obviously, Charlotte coming up. I mean, you kind of micro focusing there. You have a little bit to figure out. Have you figured out anything? Like, what is your biggest struggle? Is it tires? You talk about your pit lane difficulties. Like, where is it the area that you feel like you need to improve on the most in these next 2 weeks?
Charlotte, I think it is going to be late stage tire wear. The car is gonna likely trim pretty tight. If I get into the wall, the thing's going to be cooked with all the horsepower that we're going to be losing. So, keeping the tire wear manageable, especially in turns 3 and 4, Charlotte is going to be tantamount to how I perform in the next race. So I'm going to be focusing very heavily on that.
Well, obviously, you've got, again, 2 weeks to figure out everything for Charlotte to the start of the chase to kind of walk through another good top 5 effort here tonight. Kind of gets you some momentum going into the chase. But before we let you go and kind of let you get ready for the weeks coming up, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Again, congratulations on a phenomenal top 5 performance tonight. Again, into the chase, into the chase for the cup. 3rd place in points this evening. Congratulations on that effort.
Yes, I'd just like to thank you and Young for putting on such a wonderful broadcast all season to this point. I've had a lot of fun being on it, being honest with you and Young about all the things going on. Thank the competitors. It's been very fun to race against them for the most part this year. I've had my difficult amounts of high and lows though throughout the season. My friends, they like to watch the races, so I like to thank them. And gonna drop in a bit of an Easter egg. I might have a new sponsor come Charlotte, so that's I'm hoping that works out, and I'm looking up for that too.
Well, that makes several of us. We're hoping that everything pulls through there, and we hope to see a little bit something brand new on that car come Charlotte in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully get to see you tomorrow as well for Champ Car at Iowa. But Nick, before we let you go, again, congratulations on that race. Enjoy it, and enjoy, I guess, the week off to kind of get ready for things in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, one more shout out. My grandma is turning 75 Friday. So I'd like to just say happy birthday to her. Happy birthday, Grandma. I'll be seeing you on Friday. But yeah, thank you, Carmen. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Again, Nicholas Pressey, 4th place tonight, 3rd place in the regular season standings. We'll be battling for a championship in 2 weeks' time, beginning in Charlotte. Nick, congratulations. Good night.
Have a good night.
That was Nicholas Pressey. Again, 4th place finish for him. We'll walk through the full finishing order here this evening. Philip Snipes, race winner for the first time in the ABN AdminBoxx Cup Series from pole position. Very interesting stat there for him, but he did a phenomenal job here this evening. Lilac Sear, 2nd place for Slowbird Racing ahead of Ruby Acosta for Queen's Design. Nick Pressey finishing 4th place in tonight's race. 3rd place in the championship standings in the regular season. Tommy Withers, a top 5, a good result for him for Prophecy Motorsports. We'll see him again on Saturday. Zach McBride in the number 47 finishes 6th place tonight on the lead lap ahead of Christina Ryan, who was the first car 2 laps down. Callie Height, after a frustrating night for her in that 66 machine, in 8th place. Emily Howell got back on the 2 laps down marker, but could never really get lucky enough with the free pass position to get anything else out of that. She'll finish 9th place, her 2nd lowest result after Daytona, the first race since Daytona that she's finished outside the top 5. Lily Pautier Sharp did not finish this race, came home with the top 10, but will miss out on being in the chase for the cup. John Hagan in the chase for the cup, but obviously fueled by the ire of being turned by Callie Height early in this race and taking out of it, and Blake Henderson calling it quits after just 2 laps spinning in the early goings of tonight's event. A lot of racing coming up here still. Tomorrow night, not broadcasted or televised. It's the ABN Champ Car World Series from Iowa with 3 races to go. Bruno Miranda has a chance to become a new Open Wheel World Champion. So far, it's only Christina Ryan in that club. Bruno Miranda would like to join it. Saturday. Keep an eye on this Saturday. It is the A Square Cup Series. From Sunday to Saturday for a 1 night only. They're racing at Darlington for the Southern 250. That's happening again on Saturday, 7 p.m. You're going to want to be there for that. The ARC's Midwest Barbecue Saturday Night Showdown Series will move to Sunday for a week as they race at Milwaukee the day after. That is September 2nd and 3rd. So a bit of an inverse of what you're expecting. ARC's A Square Cup Series on Saturday, ARC's Trucks on Sunday. Next Monday, me and Christina Ryan will be in the booth for the HTL Daytona 300. We had the duels on Monday. Caitlin Height, Tommy Withers will start from the front row in that race. 14 cars went home in qualifying on Monday for this 36-car field that we have coming up on Monday, September 4th. All of our coverage begins on ABN Esports 2. Pre-race countdown to green, 7 p.m. on ABN Esports 2 before main coverage on ABN Esports 1 right here, 8 p.m. September 4th. That is everything coming up in advance over the next 4 or 5 days. On behalf of everyone here for ABN, our partners in E83, Flying Machines, AdminBoxx, HTL Esports, Arx Esports, and everyone here at ABN Studios, my co-commentator Kevin Young, I'm Carmen, Sienna. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun in the weekend. Enjoy this Labor Day weekend, but we'll see you on Saturday at Darlington. Until then, so long, everybody.